Hello people! As you can get from the name of the video, there are a lot of important things for beginners described in this video about World of Warships. After you have registered and entered the game, you get a bunch of almost equal cruisers for every nation. I just wanted to say that you don't need to look for login and password of World of Tanks game made by the same company because the gold and free experience still not united and developers still haven't said when it would be done. If you are going to register and play, you can find the link in the description under this video. So there is no great difference between the default cruisers. All of them have almost equal armament and health points amount, so I cannot see the sense to look for the best one to improve your stats or annihilate newcomers. Another ship classes such as battleships, aircraft carriers and destroyers are available only at tier 3 and 4. So playing default cruisers, you just should learn some simple but very important things. The first one is do not hurry up moving forward, especially if you are alone. Yes, it sounds like captain's phrase, but not the navy one, but the obvious one. So even playing higher levels, I saw many times how it is useful not to be in rush, for not to get surrounded by the enemy ships. And it is useful even against AI ships at the first level. By the way, you get to the battle against AI by default, and for to get to the battle against another games, you should choose the red emblem of the battles, like this one. And even in spite of stupidity of AI, when they shot anyone but not you being the closest target, you will get too many damage from them. It is not World of Tanks, and if you get the wrong position, you will not be able to hide over rock or building. So you just get against 2 or 3 enemies and collect all the rounds they send to you. That is why you'll just draw on without any honor. I repeat, it is not World of Tanks, and you will not get so many experience or silver for scouting. That were the exact battles when I made a lot of damage and got a huge amount of experience and silver for it. And as I remember, that was damage after hits, but not after flooding or fire, my shots being risen. The second thing you need to learn at the earliest levels is proceed from the first one. You need to shoot the long distances, even longest ones. The rounds fly to the target for a rather long time. So if you shoot the silhouette directly, your rounds will hit the place where the target has been some seconds ago. By the way, one click left mouse button is single shot. You just estimate the aiming correction with it, watching the place where rounds go, and after making correction according it, you shoot all the barrels with double left button click on your mouse. When levels grow, the ships shoot further and further. The distances of artillery duels will grow up, and the skill to choose the aiming point and even predict the enemy's moving direction will be more and more important. And the third important thing you need to learn who you need to shoot with and with which type of rounds you should do it. You have 2 types of them in the game. They are armor piercing and high explosive ones. The first type has good penetration but not so much damage. High explosive ones penetrate the thin armor only, but cause a great damage in the case of penetration. But they do not penetrate mostly and cause tiny surface damage mostly. Though if you caused a fire with them, but let's speak about fires a little bit later. So I cannot say uniquely what ship you have to shoot with. Sometimes even battleship have to shoot another battleship with high explosive shells. Because if the enemy has good armor and goes to you under bad angle, even the most powerful AP shells will cause ricochets only without any penetration. But when you meet destroyers, you just must use high explosive shells, because AP shells penetrate them through without any damage. To speak about HE shells again, they have good damage, break engines, rudders, other important models, and also cause strongest fires. Altogether, you can always try both types of shells on any artillery ship for to find the best shells type to cause maximum damage. Especially if the ship has good fire rate and it is not problem to switch shells type even during one battle. The question about which ship you should better shoot with which type of shells, it's too big for this video. I have already told you that there is no simple rule for it. I just want to tell you about one important thing in battles of warships. Most of heavy ships have citadel. To say simple, it's the place where engines are situated as well as fuel for them and shells for cannons. But it is usually situated at the lowest level of vessel and have armor, so it's not easiest task to hit it. The biggest ships, such as battleships and heavy cruisers, have the additional armor of Citadel. So if your shell reaches this area, the enemy ship gets heavy damage, which can be 5 times more than after a regular hit. So you can cut half of health bar after hit the Citadel very often. And sometimes you hit twice Citadel of the cruiser at the battle's beginning, and in 1 minute that cruiser watches the battle as a simple viewer. Cruiser citadels are the easiest for to hit with battleship's cannons. Battleship citadels are more difficult to penetrate even with the heaviest cannons because they have better armor. So how to cut half of health with a single hit? Just do not think about HE shells, because they explode just after hit and damage the surfaces, and they destroy the stuff over deck mostly. So let's speak about armor piercing shells. It is not so simple though. When you shoot the longest distances, the shells fall from above, having not the highest speed. They also have to penetrate all the stuff over deck and the armor deck itself, which is very difficult to be penetrated because the shells already lost most of energy and cannot reach the citadel. And it is quite another ordeal when the distances is less than 7 miles or 10 kilometers and your puzzles to the enemy are still plenty of speed and power and penetrate the armor much better. So you need to aim between water and waterline in this situation, or as the Navy say, to hit under waterline, and you will have your citadel's hits and thousands of damage. So that's it for today. If this video was really useful for you, I can also describe every ship's classes, features, and how to use these features against other classes. If you still don't play this game, you can register in the game through the link in this video caption and get the gift. And see you in the next videos.